to ignore the camera.
How do you do that?
How long have you been doing this walk, Grandpa?
25 years, ever since I retired.
Really?
Yep. Too many of my friends get into rocking chairs and they never get up again, you know.
Did Grandma used to go on these walks with you?
She was a walker, but she liked to walk by herself.
Yeah.
She walked with her head down looking for nickels and dimes and bottles and cans and all kinds of stuff. There's usually a bunch of sea lions down here, but they're gone today. There's a Chinook salmon come down here and they live off of them. And the fishermen hate them.
Where are we, Grandpa?
We are at, let's see, John Storm Park. And it's a place where they put boats in the water and bring them out. On my walks, I always stop and look at this scene. Isn't this beautiful? Panorama of it. I don't know. We got married in March 1950, and Robin was born in June 1951. So somewhere 2, 3, or 4 months after we were married, I guess, I found out we were going to be a dad.
Wow. How did you feel? Do you remember?
I loved it. Only thing is, 3 months after she was born, I had to leave for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't see her from the time she was 3 months old until she was 2 years and 3 months old. And those are back in the days when we had to write letters, you know. And sometimes I wouldn't get a letter from Margaret for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I'd get 5 or 6 of them at the same time. Yeah. And she would send me pictures of this. Robin was about the ugliest little kid I ever saw at 3 months old. And at 2 years old, she was about the most beautiful child I ever did see. She was an ugly duckling. Her eyes, she couldn't control her eyes, and her hair was stuck straight up, and it was black. And that all came out, and blonde came in, and then she was just a beautiful little child when I came back. She's been my girl ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I see this scene, I thank Jehovah for it. And I think what the new world is going to look like, you know, when we can see scenes like this now. Just think what things are going to be in perfection.
Yeah, you're right. What about when you met Grandma Margaret?
Oh. She was a cutie pie.
Yeah?
I was a sergeant in the Air Force, and I was just a kid, and I had all these people working for me, and she was a dietitian, and she had to come to me and ask me about, you know, what the menu would be and so forth, because I was in charge of the meat cutting, and that's how I met her.
Yeah.
And then we got acquainted, and one thing led to another, and that's why you're here now. Yeah, we weren't even 19. We're just before we were 19, yeah. But I'd been making a living for my family for years anyway, so that was no big deal for me. I was working as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
When I was just real young, we were what you'd call migratory workers. And it was in Arizona, and we lived in a little area with a whole bunch of tents stretched over a frame with a wooden floor. And that's how they housed all their workers. And we picked cotton, picked potatoes. Probably 6 or 7 years old I started.
Did you ever feel that it was unfair that you had to work at?
No.
Didn't know any better?
No, well, my dad was sick all the time. And my mom was such a hard worker And I was always just glad to help her out.
Yeah. What is my great-grandpa's name? I never asked you that.
Charlie.
Charlie
Charlie.
Varnell.
Charlie Albert Varnell.
Charlie Albert Varnell.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad's middle name is Albert.
My middle name is Albert.
My middle name is not Albert.
No, we stopped it there. Enough is enough.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about being a dad and a grandpa?
I don't know. I think everything is my favorite part.
Yeah?
When I was raising my kids, I couldn't wait to get home from work every day, you know, and wrestle with them and play with them and do things with them. Yeah, we just had a nice time.
So who first taught you about Jehovah?
My dear wife, Margaret.
Yeah?
Yep. She was teaching our children. And she didn't know she was teaching me, but she was teaching me at the same time. And then I would sit in the living room and act like I wasn't listening. And I was.
Yeah. What impressed you most?
Well, she always impressed me, but her teaching ability and the ability that she had to keep those kids' attention, especially Fred Jr., because
That's my dad.
yeah, he was like me, you know, he needed to be up doing things. And she would draw pictures for them and tell them stories and, you know, do all kinds of stuff. She knew how to take care of keeping kids' attention. She would have made a good school teacher.
Yeah. And she kept your attention in the process.
She didn't know that, though.
Do you have any stories about my dad?
Not really, no. He was just about the best boy I ever saw in my whole life.
Really?
He was always my buddy.
Was he mischievous?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a teaser. He loved to tease his sisters and he loved to tease Bill.
Yeah. In what way?
Oh, just piddly little things, you know. You know his sense of humor. He just like he would look at Pam and he would just say to her, "Psst," something like that, you know. And she would just blow up. Oh, she'd just blow up. Stop pointing your finger at me, she would say.
Do you remember meeting my mom?
Sure. I loved your mom from the minute I saw her.
Yeah.
She first came to our Kingdom Hall and she was working at Gigi's. She got a little apartment down on that street that goes up to the Kingdom Hall. And after she was there for a while, I told Fred Jr., I said, oh boy, you should get acquainted with her. She's just the prettiest thing I ever saw. Real spiritual girl. And he told me, oh, she would never look at me. She's got too many boyfriends and people that admire her, you know. And I said, you never know. So one thing led to another, and here you are. You know, Karen she's always just been like a daughter to me. Always been so good to me.
She's always been good to me too.
Yep. She's good to everybody. That was a good walk, huh, Dustin?
Sure was.
Good long walk.
How far did we walk today?
At least 3 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 miles.
Why? Why did we go so far today?
Because my grandson had to take a video of every step I took. Gibson's just waiting for you to get out and pet him.
He just can't get enough attention. He's not too much different than us.
Okay, my son.
All right, love you, Grandpa.
Love you too. See you tonight, huh?
Sure.
Hey, Gibson.
Sure will.